Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, so today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, no, not chapter 5, chapter 3, text 28. So first recite prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the verse is there on the board. I'll recite one line and then you can all repeat. Tattvavettu Mahabaho Gunakarma Vibhagayoho Gunaguneshu Vartanta Iti Matva Nasajjate Tattvavettu Mahabaho Gunakarma Vibhagayoho Gunaguneshu Vartanta Iti Matva Nasajjate Tattvavettu Mahabaho Gunakarma Vibhagayoho Gunaguneshu Vartanta Iti Matva Nasajjate. Somebody like to recite the verse?
Yes.
Can you recite? Tattvavettu Mahabaho Gunakarma Vibhagayoho Gunaguneshu Vartanta Iti Matva Nasajjate. Somebody else? Tattvavettu Mahabaho Gunakarma Vibhagayoho Gunaguneshu Vartanta Iti Matva Nasajjate. Okay, thank you. We'll do the word for word then. Tattvavit, one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth. But Mahabaho, O mighty armed one, Gunakarma, of works under material influence, Vibhagayoho, differences, Guna, senses, guneshu, in sense gratification, vartante, are being engaged, iti, thus, matva, thinking, na, never, sajjate, becomes attached. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. Purport. The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally attached to the activities of the material senses, naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Tattvavit, for he knows also his own factual position in relationship with the Supreme. So before attempting to speak on the Bhagavad Gita, I'll first like to offer the prayers to our spiritual teachers from whom we have received this knowledge. Om Jnana Timarantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And so I'll read the verse once again. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is describing one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth. So this chapter 3 is called Karma Yoga. So in this chapter, Krishna, he gives instructions on how we can work, how we can act in this world. In the beginning, he talks about how we can dedicate our activities to the Lord by offering the results of our work to the Lord. And then afterwards, he talks about different stages of Karma Yoga and how the highest is one who dedicates all of his activities to Krishna for the pleasure of the Lord without any attachment to the results. And finally, he's describing the exemplary person. How even though a devotee may be advanced in the path of devotional service, still he performs his duties in this world just to set an example for others, because most people, they need to perform their duties in this world. And so the devotee, he performs his duties also in this world, but he performs them in an exemplary way, in a way that he can also make advancement by offering the results of his activities to the Lord. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is saying that one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, one who knows the absolute truth, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work and devotion and work for fruitive results. So both are work. So you see work and devotion and work for fruitive results, but the difference is in the motivation. One person, he's working out of devotion for Krishna. He's thinking that I'm going to work to earn money, and then I'm going to give the results to Krishna. And whatever I use, I'm going to use it for Krishna's pleasure. I'll buy the food items and I'll prepare food, and first I'll offer it for Krishna's pleasure. I'll maintain the house nicely for Krishna, because this is also Krishna's home. And I'll maintain my body because this is also Krishna's property and is to be used for Krishna's service. So in this way, the one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, he works in devotion. Whereas one who is not in knowledge of the absolute truth, he works just to satisfy his senses. And therefore he is never satisfied. Because actually, we're not the body, we're not our senses, we're the spirit soul. So we can't be happy just by satisfying this body. We need to have a spiritual happiness that can satisfy the soul. And this can only be achieved when we are working for the Supreme Spirit, the Supreme Whole, that is Lord Krishna. So when we work for Lord Krishna, then our activities are called spiritual. And then they give us spiritual happiness, which is satisfying to the soul. So that's why one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, he doesn't work for fruitive results, because he knows that they're temporary and they don't give true happiness, because we're eternal. We need eternal happiness. So let's just talk a little bit about the absolute truth. Here it says, one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a nice verse. It goes, Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdate. That one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, he knows that this non-dual substance to be called Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So there are different features of the absolute truth. One is called Brahman, one is called Paramatma, and one is called Bhagavan. So some groups of philosophers, they think that Brahman is the supreme, that the ultimate goal of life is to merge into the Brahman effulgence, and we just lose our identity, we lose our individuality, and there are no activities, there are no varieties, everything is just one. But actually from the Srimad Bhagavatam we find that this is not the highest stage. This Brahman platform, this Brahman light, is actually the effulgence of the body of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those who are more advanced, they go further, they realize that also the Lord is situated in our heart as Paramatma. So in this Paramatma feature, the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, and those who have realized this Paramatma feature, they meditate on the Lord within the heart. But then even more advanced than that is the Bhagavan realization, which is the realization of the personal activities and the qualities of the Lord. That the Lord has a form, but he also has different activities, he has different associates, he has many different qualities, and he also has different relationships with each and every living being. So those who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the Lord, they worship the Lord in love, and performing various activities for the pleasure of the Lord. They try to make, various arrangements for the Lord, various nice foodstuffs for the Lord, and there are so many different festivals that we celebrate, like the boat festival, the Julan Yatra. All of these different festivals are arranged to facilitate the Lord in his different pastimes. So this is called the realization of Bhagavan. So there, Srila Prabhupada gives a few nice analogies to illustrate these different realizations of the Absolute Truth. So the first is like the sun. So the sun globe is compared to the Bhagavan realization, and then when we realize that, first of all, let's go from Brahman. So Brahman is the light of the sun, and then when we realize that there's also the sun globe, then that's like Paramatma realization, and then when we realize that there's also actually a deity of the sun god, then that's like Bhagavan realization. So they're all different aspects of the same thing. So some people, they think of the sun just like, just the light. But then those who are a little bit more advanced, they realize that there's actually a planet called the sun. And those who have even more knowledge, then they understand that there's also residence on the sun planet, and there's also a predominating deity of the sun called the sun god. Also, another analogy is given of the mountain. Like when we see the mountain from a distance, it just looks like a hazy figure, maybe similar to a cloud in the distance. So that can be compared to the Brahman realization. But then when we get closer, then we can see that there are varieties on the mountain. We can see that there are some trees or some houses, and different things, different shapes and colors appear on the mountain. But then once we actually reach the mountain, then we can, see that there are also people on the mountain. There are different animals, and we can meet the people. We can talk to the people. So in this way, this is compared to the Bhagavan realization. From these analogies, we can see how actually the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, they are all different stages of realization of the same Supreme Person, Bhagavan, and that one who is most realized, he understands that the topmost, the fullest manifestation of the Lord is in his Bhagavan feature. And also similarly, the best reward can be attained when we worship the Bhagavan feature of the Lord. Because when we worship the Bhagavan feature of the Lord in his personal form, then we can interact with him in loving relationship, and this gives us the highest happiness. It is said that the happiness attained by merging into the Brahman effulgence is compared to just one drop from an ocean of happiness that is attained by rendering loving service to the personal form of the Lord. So those who are really intelligent, they try to realize the Bhagavan feature of the Lord and worship the Lord in his personal form. And in the Bhagavad Gita 5, in chapter 5, there's a nice verse. It says, Yehi samsparsha jaboga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta konteya nateshu ramate buddha. That intelligent person, he doesn't take part in the senses and sense gratification, because he knows that he doesn't take part in the senses, knowing them to be temporary. Because sense gratification, is just a cause of misery. The one who engages in sense gratification, he just attains misery because everything is temporary and it's not satisfying. So those who are intelligent, they engage in devotional service, and especially in this age of Kali, it said yagya sankirtana prayer yajanti sumedasa. Those who are really intelligent, they take to this chanting of the holy names of the Lord, because that's the method prescribed especially for this age. The chanting of the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Lord Krishna has just recently incarnated 500 years ago in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's specifically established the chanting of the holy names as the Yuga Dharma for this age of Kali. And he said, that Kali Kaler Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nam Hoite Hayasarva Jagat Nishtar, that the chanting of the holy names of the Lord can deliver us from all the difficulties of this age of Kali, and that by chanting we can attain all perfection. And he personally taught by his own example, by constantly chanting the holy names of the Lord and asking other people to chant, and in this way he delivered so many people. And and today also is a special day because we're celebrating the disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is coming in the disciplic succession from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We see up here, there's these 4 pictures above Srila Prabhupada. These are the devotees, the different acharyas coming in the line of our disciplic succession from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So starting from the far right is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Then Gaur-Kishore Das Babiji, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he's the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. And he was a very amazing personality. It said that he was a Shrutidar. That means whatever he heard, he would remember. And it said that when he was a child, when he was going to school, then he would go to school, but he would never do his homework. When he came home, as soon as he came home, he would forget about all of these, mundane studies, and he would read the songs. He would study the songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakur and different other Vaishnava literature. But he was so intelligent that whenever the teacher asked him any question, he would immediately answer. And whenever it was time for the exam, he would always pass very well. And he got so many educational diplomas because he was so intelligent. And said that at the age of 7, he had memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita, the entire 700 verses. And at the time of his birth, Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually he had prayed for a ray of Vishnu to be sent, because he was struggling to reestablish Krishna consciousness after Lord Chaitanya had appeared. Then after Lord Chaitanya disappeared, then there were many people who misused they twisted the philosophy, and in the name of following Lord Chaitanya, they were doing so many sinful activities. So the Vaishnava tradition had gotten a very bad name. Everybody. And during that time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when anybody spoke of Vaishnavas or Lord Chaitanya, they just thought they're just some sense enjoyers, some sinful people. They don't have any good behavior. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was very sad, because he knew that the actual teachings of Lord Chaitanya are meant to be spread to everywhere and are actually the best teachings for everyone. And he wanted it to be accepted by all the most qualified members of society. And so he was praying to the Lord to send him somebody to help him, because he felt like he couldn't do it on his own. And so then to answer his prayers, Lord Krishna sent Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And just to show Bhaktivinoda Thakur that this was the person that he was praying for, so there were many special things that happened. And one was that just a few days after the birth of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the Rath Yatra festival. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his house was just on the road where the cart would pass by. So when the cart got in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, then it stopped and it wouldn't move. Like no matter how much all the people tried to pull the cart, it was stuck and they couldn't move it. It's like for a few days it was stuck there. And so then Bhagavati Devi, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mother, she decided to bring the small baby and take him onto the cart and to be blessed by Lord Jagannath. And so she put the baby by his feet, by Lord Jagannath's feet, and as soon as she did that, then Lord Jagannath's garland fell down and fell right on the baby. And so everybody was like cheering, saying Jai Hari Bol. This was definitely a blessing of the Lord. It's a very special event. And so then as soon as they took the child away, then the cart moved again. And Lord Jagannath went along. He had stayed there just to bless the child. And yeah, so when he grew up, he manifested more and more his devotion for Lord Krishna. And his father, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, always gave him instructions on devotional service, and he initiated him into chanting the holy name when he was 12, 13 years, and he was always very strictly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur also gave him instructions to take shelter of Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, his spiritual master, the one in between Bhaktisiddhanta and Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And so he approached him and took initiation from him with great difficulty, because Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji didn't want to initiate any disciples, but because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur begged him so much and he was really sincere, then he agreed to accept him as his only disciple. And so then after some time, Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji, he passed away, and also Bhaktivedanta Thakur passed away. And so, what was happening was Bhaktivedanta Thakur instructed Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to preach, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur felt himself unqualified to preach. So he first of all he decided that he took a vow to chant, I think 1 lakh of names, and it took him like 10 years. So his only business was chanting. He just went to like a cottage. He was hardly eating anything, maybe just like 1 time a day, and he would just chant and chant and chant like for 10 years. He was just trying to, praying to the Lord to empower him to actually execute the mission that his spiritual master, his father, had given him. And so he was doing that. But then shortly after he had completed the vow, then both his father and his spiritual master had passed away. And so he was feeling so depressed, so sad. And there's this nice book here. It's called Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, written by Bhaktivedanta Swami. It's a really nice book all about the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I thought it would be nice to read a little bit from this book. Here explains how just at that point when he was feeling really depressed on the departure of both his father and his spiritual master, then something special happened. The Lord appeared to him to give him encouragement. So I'll just read here. Upon Babaji Maharaj's disappearance, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati inwardly bemoaned, "Now who will chastise me to make me understand the truth as it is? Having seen many disturbances arise in the Vaishnava community, following the Tirobhav of Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, just 16 months before, feeling disappointment and hopelessness, and keenly suffering the absence of his 2 muses, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati resolved to keep to himself and desist from speaking Harikatha to others. He lamented, "To whom will I show my articles and books? Who will take pleasure in my writings and encourage me to continue? Who will take pleasure in hearing about the preaching work and the increasing splendor of the Dham and our service to it?" Practically foregoing food and sleep, he remained engaged in intense bhajan while wrestling with a dilemma. His heart reverberated with Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur's order that he not renounce service to Mahaprabhu, and seeing the mass of people spoiling their valuable human life, simply taking birth and then dying without information of or interest in the incomparable boons offered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati was unceasingly contemplating the need to preach. Yet having experienced the kind of malicious opposition he would have to face for speaking the truth, he was reluctant to return to public life. Then one day a gust of wind blew before him an extract from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami to compose transcendental literature, renovate forgotten holy places, institute service to Lord Krishna, and propagate Krishna Bhakti. Yeah, so this is something very magical that happened when he was just, he was just lamenting. Then the wind blew in this piece of paper like in front of him, and it was actually a page from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it was Lord Chaitanya instructions to Sanatana Goswami, and it said that it was Lord Chaitanya instructing Sanatana Goswami to compose transcendental literature, renovate forgotten holy places, institute service to Lord Krishna, and propagate Krishna Bhakti. So he took that and he read it. And taking this as divine indication, but feeling depressed and incapable, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati pondered, I have no public support, nor wealth, learning, or the intelligence required to awaken interest in the populace. How can I convey to the inhospitable world the pure teachings of Sri Chaitanya and establish the desire of my gurus? Shortly afterwards, one night at the yoga pit, in a dreamlike revelation, he saw approaching him from the east the Panchatattva, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Srila Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj, and numerous other great devotees of Lord Chaitanya. So now he had a dream. The Panchatattva was speaking to him. Saraswati, why are you worrying? Begin the task of establishing Shuddha Bhakti. Distribute Gauravani universally. Expand service to Gauranam, Gauradham, and Gaurakam. Gauranam means the transcendental name, Gauradham means the abode of the Lord, and Gaurakam means the desire of Gaura. So he's saying, expand on the service to Lord Chaitanya's name, Lord Chaitanya's holy abode, and Lord Chaitanya's desires. With the unbreached enthusiasm, broadcast Siddhanta, Bhakti Siddhanta. We are eternally with you, ready to help. The support of unlimited people, immeasurable opulence, and boundless scholarship awaits the blessings to serve your mission. All will manifest when required. Come forward with full strength to distribute the message of Mahaprabhu's Prema Dharma throughout the globe. No worldly hindrance or menace will be able to obstruct this undertaking of yours. We are forever with you. Next morning, the few young disciples who had gathered around him saw for the first time in many days his face refulgent in happiness. He related to them the vision he had seen. Before long, he resumed working and preaching, and henceforward his avidity for preaching was fully rekindled and unretractable. Yeah, so this amazing dream that Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur had. So we can just see how, if we're really sincere to follow the orders of our spiritual master, to serve the Lord, then the Lord, He arranges everything for us. He encourages us and gives us all facility and support. And just like He also did with Srila Prabhupada. And these are not, stories from bygone ages. It's just happened recently. Anybody who takes to this devotional service with as much sincerity, then we can also obtain the mercy of the Lord and be able to achieve wonderful results. So since it's his disappearance day, I thought I'd also read a little bit here from the last instructions that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke just a few days before he left. These are very nice. On 23rd December 1936, 8 days before leaving this world, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati instructed in a weak, halting voice the devotees assembled at his bedside. Those vital and immortal words were to become famous as his last address, expressing the essence of his perennial message, and would be featured in innumerable publications. So this is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati spoke. I have upset many persons' minds. Many might have considered me their enemy, because I was obliged to speak the plain truth of service and devotion toward the Absolute Godhead. I have given them all those troubles only so they might turn their face toward the personality of Godhead without any desire for gain, and with unalloyed devotion. Surely someday they will be able to understand that. All of you propagate the message of Rupa Raghunath with supreme enthusiasm. Our ultimate desire is to become dust at the lotus feet of the Rupanugas. All should remain united in following the Ashray Vigraha, means Lord Krishna, for the sake of serving the Advaya Gyan. In this ephemeral sphere, you should live somehow or other only for Hari Bhajan. In spite of all dangers, criticisms, and discomforts, do not give up Hari Bhajan. Hari Bhajan means worshipping the Supreme Lord Krishna. Don't be disappointed that most people in the world do not accept topics of unduplicitous Krishna Seva. Do not forsake your own bhajan of Krishna Katha, Shravana Kirtan, means hearing and chanting about Krishna, which is your all in all. With humility like a straw and forbearance like a tree, you should always perform Hari Kirtan. Let our bodies, which are like those of aged oxen, be offered into the Sankirtan Yagya of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. We do not aspire to be any kind of heroes or karma or dharma. We do not aspire to be any kind of heroes of karma or dharma, but our constitutional position and all in all is to in every birth to become dust at Sri Rupa Raghunath's lotus feet. The Bhaktivedanta Dhara will never stop. With all your energy, devote yourself to fulfilling the desire of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There are many among you who are well qualified and able workers. We have no other wish whatsoever. Our only motto is, taking a blade of grass between my teeth, I fall down and pray again and again to become dust at Sripad Rupa Goswami's lotus feet, birth after birth. Certainly there are multiple inconveniences while we are in this mortal domain, but there is no need either to be overwhelmed by them or to try to overcome them. Rather, even during the duration of our present life, we must become acquainted with what we shall gain after surpassing all those difficulties, and what shall be the mode of our permanent existence. In this world, we are compelled to make decisions regarding objects that evoke our attraction and revulsion, both those that we want and those that we do not. Attachment and detachment in this damned existence, increase according to the degree that we are separated from Sri Krishna's lotus feet. When we are able to transcend the position of attachment and detachment in this world of death, and are attracted by the holy name of Godhead, then only can we understand the taste of Krishna Seva Ras. At the present time, Krishna's instructions seem highly startling and perplexing. Knowingly or unknowingly, everyone who is considered a human being is more or less struggling to eliminate those invading elements that baffle our perception of our eternal need. Our only requirement is to enter into the kingdom of our eternal necessity by going beyond dualities. We have no love or hatred toward anyone in this world. All arrangements made herein are but temporary. Therefore, that supreme goal is indispensably necessary for everyone in this world. All of you should work unitedly and harmoniously for the same objective of attaining eligibility for seva to the original Ashray Vigraha, Lord Shri Krishna. May the conceptions of the Rupanugas flow in the world. Let us never feel the slightest dejection while engaged in the seven-tongued flame of Sankirtan Yagya. Only if we have undaunted and ever-increasing attachment for it shall we achieve all perfection. Under the guidance of the Rupanugas, all of you should fearlessly and with utmost energy preach Rupanuga Katha. So that's the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then he, after speaking this, shortly, just before he was leaving his body, then he asked that one song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur be sung to him. And the last line of which goes like this: O Lord, I am extremely unfortunate. My attachment for the holy name has never come about. The heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is overwhelmed with sadness. Upon hearing these last lines, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati clapped his hand to his forehead as profuse tears of humility decorated his cheeks, warning of the lamentable plight of being unattracted to the holy name. And then he delivered his final message: all of you present and absent, accept my blessings. Remember that our sole duty and dharma is to propagate service to the Lord and his devotees. The next morning, on the 1st of January 1937, at just about 5:20, he chanted, "Oh Krishna, Krishna," and then he left the world. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. So we have a few minutes if anybody would like to have any questions or comments. Yeah, I can say.
Maybe it was you who said it in the previous lecture, that it's not really about understanding Krishna, but about learning how to accept anything that is present. Right?
Sorry, can you repeat the last sentence?
That is more about learning how to accept everything that is present and not really about understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So that statement, we can't really ever
Yeah, so we cannot fully understand Krishna, but we can still have knowledge about Krishna. So there is much knowledge available about Krishna as explained in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should try as much as we can to understand Krishna, because the more we know about Krishna, then the more we become attached to Krishna, and we develop our love for Krishna because we realize that he's such a wonderful person. He has so many wonderful qualities, and he's really the only person who can give us true shelter and happiness in this world. So by having this transcendental knowledge about Krishna, this awakens our love and attachment to Krishna, and this is the purpose of our life, to awaken our love for Krishna. So we don't need to know Krishna completely, but we should try to develop knowledge as much as we can, so we can develop our love for Krishna. Is that okay? Yeah. Anybody else would like to share anything? Yeah, so I think we can take it like we definitely always need to work on ourselves, and the more we go deep into our sadhana, our meditation on Krishna, and trying to deepen our attachment and knowledge of Krishna, then all the more effective our preaching will be. So yeah, definitely we can't do it all day long as Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur did. But as much time as we can, like we should dedicate, at least the whole morning program, the evening program. And Prabhupada said at least we should read, 1 or 2 hours a day. So this is important for us to do, especially in the beginning stage. And this will empower us to preach. And as I was saying, knowledge of Krishna makes us attached to Krishna. It gives us firm faith that actually this is what I'm doing is the best thing that can be done with my life, and is also the best thing that will help anybody else in their life. So then we get this strong faith, firm conviction, and when we get this, then we can actually we can live the knowledge, and then we can preach it all the more effectively. A few months ago we were speaking to Keshwar Swami, and he was saying, we were asking him like, how can we make the best use of our stay here in England or something like that. And oh no, I think yeah, we were asking for service, like what kind of service should we do? And he was like, while you're here at the ashram, you should just, go deeper into your sadhana, into your spiritual life, like study, just kind of try to, equip yourself to preach, because this is an important time in the beginning of your life. If you go deep into your sadhana, your chanting, try to deepen your connection to Krishna and your relationship to Krishna, understand the philosophy, then that will, make you actually able to preach more effectively. So yeah, I think it's definitely important to, try to, go deep into our sadhana, and then we can, even though if we can't do it, all day, just like how he did, Okay, I think we have to stop now because it is 7 o'clock, and we're going to have the arti in 1 minute. So thank you all for your kind attention and your questions. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Gaur Pramanandi, Hari Bol.